Welcome back. Today, I have another exciting Mechabellum gameplay for you. My opponent for this match is a player called MFG. They have a combat power of over 70,000. Impressive. According to the developers, Aerial Specialist has one of the highest win rates in the game. It also comes with two very good units that pair well, both fangs and tanks. For me, this is the best combination on offer, and so I choose these. I want to benefit from my Aerial Specialist card, so I unlock and buy a unit of Phoenix immediately. Now I need to decide on a formation. I go with my standard vertical formation. Rows of tanks and fangs spread intermittently. The Phoenix is placed up the back to provide some aerial support. My opponent spends credits on a round 1 shield, which takes me by surprise. This sort of early game spending is frowned upon by the community. I win the left side. This is no doubt due to the additional unit of fangs I have there, and the Phoenix providing aerial support. I lose the round, but not by much. At the start of round 2, I pick up the Deployment Specialist card. Putting a lot more units on the board this early in the game could swing things in my favor. I decide to unlock the Crawler unit and put 2 of them on my opponent's flanks. I put the crawlers as far back as possible. These will serve as a distraction and pull my opponent's units wide, meaning they will arrive late to the main battle. Since I now have the Deployment Specialist, I decide to build an additional unit of fangs. These will bring balance to my army's main line and might help me win that right side on round 2. As expected, my crawlers are pulling the opponent's steel balls way over to the side of the map. This will allow me to focus on the fangs initially, and hopefully I can bring down that shield. I win this round, and my opponent loses over 600 health points. Sadly, the shield remains. At the start of round 3, I pick up the Advanced Firepower Control System. My intention is to put this module on a unit of Mustangs later in the game. I then level up 2 units of tanks. I purchase an additional unit of Phoenix to bring balance to my army's backline. Finally, I spend 50 credits on a missile to take out some of that Fang spam. Let's see how this plays out. I win the round and take another 600 health points from my opponent. At the start of round 4, I skip the cards and bank the additional 50 credits. I introduce 2 additional units of crawlers to my opponent's flanks. The opponent has set up his units in a tight pack. I want to try and pull them apart. The further apart my opponent's units are from each other, the more opportunity I have to isolate and kill them. I then unlock and purchase 2 units of wasps. At first, I was going to use these to protect my flanks. But then, I decide to try something more aggressive. I place the wasps on my opponent's flanks, next to the crawlers. These should be able to kill those steel balls, and maybe even take out a tower. I also upgrade the 2 units of crawlers next to the wasps. At this point, these crawlers are no longer chaff. I'm attempting to win the flank and hit my opponent from behind. The plan worked perfectly. I take 1,300 health points from my opponent. At the start of round 5, I skip the cards again. I anticipate my opponent will place some anti-air units on his backline to kill my wasps. So I use the jump drive tech to move them out of harm's way. I then level up a few units before purchasing an additional unit of tanks. I place the tanks front and center. My hope is that these tanks can help battle that large pack of units my opponent has. One of the best uses of wasps is as flank protection, so that is where I decide to place them for now. As I mentioned before, my opponent's units are tightly packed together. The opponent also has 2 high-health fortress units with the shield barrier. A good counter to all of this is the Storm Caller, so I lean heavy into Storm Callers by purchasing 3 units of them and spreading them out across the center of my board. At the last moment, I decide to put the Advanced Firepower Control module onto one of my Stormcaller units. This will double the damage and make it twice as effective. I win the round and knock 700 health points off of my opponent. At the start of round 6, I'm offered the incendiary bomb. Looking at my opponent's board, I can see he has a lot of fangs that are vulnerable to fire. So I pick up the incendiary bomb, unlock the oil bomb from the research center, and try to position them as best I can. I then proceed to spend 700 credits, leveling up multiple units. This should be interesting. Let's see how it plays out. Sadly, the oil never caught fire. However, I still won the round. At the start of round 7, I see the ranged specialist and take it immediately. An excellent card that benefits almost every unit. I then proceed to level up a few more of my units. I then purchase 2 more units of tanks and place them in the wide areas. My opponent's units are tightly packed together. I want to try and surround them. I decide to add the underground threat tech to my crawlers. That speed increase will get them involved in the battle sooner, and they will also be harder to shoot. I also give all my units the attack and defensive buff offered by the research center. With my final 100 credits, I build a marksman unit and place it centrally. If I win this round, I'll win the game. Sadly, I lose round 7 and roughly 1,300 health points with it. At the start of round 8, I take the extended range Stormcaller card. I'm heavily invested in those units at this moment, so it makes sense to give them that additional range. I then level up several of my units. I give my Phoenix the extended range tech. It should help keep them out of harm's way. In order to stop this giant pack of fangs and fortress, I purchase the incendiary tech for my storm callers. I want to burn the hell out of my opponent's fangs, kill his chaff quickly so that my other units can concentrate on taking down the fortress giants. To give myself the best shot of making this work, I build another 2 units of stormcallers. This fiery missile barrage should cause a real problem for my opponent. The opponent now has 5 fortress giants. Those 5 shields need to come down before I can even begin to kill them. Hopefully the stormcallers can help with that too. Success! My tactics worked and I've won the game. If you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing. I plan to bring out more of these videos in the weeks and months ahead. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.